Check it out. The last piece of news I want to get to real quick is actually it's one piece of news, but it's got multiple factors to it. Um, Earlier or sometime last week, the Disney company had an earnings call, and Bob Iger was speaking to stockholders and shareholders and everything, and he confirmed that Mandalorian season two will be released. We all knew it was this year, but he confirmed the release will be in October. Didn't say what day in October, just said October. So that's awesome news. We got Mandalorian season two coming in October, which of course you'll be able to find the reviews for season two as it comes out here on Star Wars Reactions. But he said a couple of interesting things along with that. One, he said that they were going to, for Star Wars, they're going to be focusing on TV for the next couple of years. Okay. He also didn't mention anybody by name, but he actually mentioned the possibility of characters from The Mandalorian getting spinoff shows.
That's interesting. Very, very interesting.
So the question is, David, and I'm going to pose it to you right now. What character do you want to see get a spinoff that you've seen in Mandalorian so far?
Well, I love Cara Dune. I don't know that they would do that, but I would love it. Gina Carano, I think she's done great. Um, I would love to see that. I have to say, I don't know how they would do it. Um, Possible spoiler here, if you haven't seen the eighth episode of of The Mandalorian, can I spoil it? Are we do we? I mean,
We're far enough out from that finale. I'm
okay,
sure it's
that's what I was
fine.
thinking. Okay, that was December 27th, I believe. Yes, 2 days after Christmas. Um, you know, I would love to see IG-11. Doing different things, more bounty hunter stuff, more stuff with Baby Yoda flying through the streets of Navarro on a speeder bike. I would love to see his stuff. Um, who else? I don't know. I don't know that would they do that with Carl Weathers as Grief Karga. I'm not sure. Um, but it sounds like, and as you said, it's multi-layered. It sounds like it might be more the case that they're gonna try to introduce characters
Mm-hmm.
here and then spin them off versus the ones that are currently in it.
Very true. Very true. That definitely could happen as well, and most likely is the case. I will say this. Um, I would like to see a Cara Dune series. I think that would be incredible, especially going back to her time as a Rebel shock trooper
Oh
and
yeah.
showing those. That would be absolutely incredible to see. I mean, we've seen the rebellion from multiple sides already, from the movies with Luke, Han, and Leia. We've seen Rebels with the Ghost Crew and that aspect, but to actually see a shock trooper post Empire, post Return of the Jedi, going on these missions to hunt down the Imperials, that would just, to me, that would be incredible TV. I would absolutely adore that series if they did that. Then of course the given one is, Baby Yoda, the child, give the child his own series.
Oh
Of
my
course, some
God.
people would argue he already has his own series, but the child would be, that would just be a marketing heaven at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. You and I haven't had a chance to talk about this, but on one of the Star Wars shows just before January 1st, Anthony Carboni was interviewing Bob Iger, and Bob Iger confirmed that the child does have a name. I'm not sure Bob Iger didn't say if it was going to be revealed in season two or on, but he did confirm, Bob Iger, that the child's name is not George, and I thought that was pretty good. So it's not based on George Lucas, but he did confirm it has a name. He has a name, so that'd be interesting. Yeah, I think I just visualize a spinoff of Baby Yoda just doing anything, and people would just love it. They would tune in.
I know his name.
You do not. Oh wait, we've come up with some names, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Personally, I like the name Adoy. That's
Right,
Yoda. It's Yoda spelled backwards.
right, Adoy.
A-D-O-Y. Adoy.
Yeah.
I even got my friend's kids saying that. Oh, look, Mr. Aaron, there's Adoy.
You're
I
already
give
cooking
I
them.
give him a thumbs up, and my friend stares at me with evil eyes. So much fun. But yeah, no, I can't wait to find out what his name is. But till then, I'll just call him Adoy.
That's right. We'll go with it. That's ours from Star Wars Reactions.
Adoy. So that actually wraps up our news. For all the latest news, of course, you can always check us out on social media, check out our website, or of course, wait to our next episode and we will recap all the news there as well. So check that out. For now, though, we are going to take a quick break and we will be back with more Star Wars reactions. Welcome back, everybody. David and Aaron here. I'm Aaron, and David's here with me. And normally during our shows, this would be a part where we have our big discussion would start now. We would be reviewing our episode, whatever episode we're reviewing, whether it's TV show, movie. We'd be reviewing, if we're reviewing a book or comic series, whatever we're going to be reviewing, this is the time we do that. But because this is our first episode of Star Wars reactions, we wanted to take some time to let you get to know us this week. This will be, we got actually 22 questions that some have been submitted by listeners, some we have come up with that just explore who we are, what we like about fandom and Star Wars, and some really good questions. So we want to make sure we try to get as many of these answered as we can, and get that way y'all can get to know us better. Because, we've been podcasting together. We did Resistance Reactions for 2 years. You came in and out as a guest on Rebels Reactions during the series, and then joined me as co-host when we picked it back up to try to carry it on, but it phased into Resistance at that point. So we've never done a get to know us episode. So we got people that have listened to us for years that know probably very little about us and about our fandom and where it came from. And we thought this would be new show, new name, new show. Thought it'd be a good idea to explore who we are and let people know, and make it hopefully give you all better insight to where we're coming from as we do these shows.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun to do. You and I have dropped little stuff over the years during Rebels Reactions and Resistance Reactions, but this is a fun way to do it. And we do. I look at all these questions. They're awesome. This is what Star Wars fans love to talk about.
Exactly. And it's what we love to talk about. Every time we talk, it's a quick, how's the family? Family's good? Great. Did you see this episode of Star Wars? Did you read this book? Did you hear they're doing this? Right. And that's just how we are. So let's jump into this. I want to start because we got some questions in from some listeners that I want to tackle, as well as some of the questions that you and I came up with on our own. And we'll go from there. We'll get as many done as we can. We'll definitely get all the listener questions done. We'll do some of the questions that we came up with. Any questions that we don't get to, don't worry. We're still going to answer them so you know more about us. What we'll do is any questions that we do answer and any questions that we don't get answered, we will actually have the answers on our website. We'll do 2 posts over the next week. One will have my answers, so you can get to know me a little bit more. Then the other post will be David's answers, and you'll get to know David some more. And I think it'll just be a lot of fun. And you can let us know what you think of our answers and give us your answers to some of these questions as well, because these are questions that everybody has an opinion on. I guarantee it. And nobody's opinion is right. Nobody's opinion is wrong. They're just what makes fandom great. We all have different opinions, but we all love Star Wars, and that's what's important. So let's start with our first listener question, which actually was submitted through Twitter by the Twitter handle The Rebel Base Card. And they want to know who our favorite Star Wars droid is. David, I will let you go first on this one.
Oh, man. No, I was just thinking about who yours would be. I think I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, there's no debate on mine. If you've listened to me in a podcast at all in the last 4 years, you know what I'm going to say. But David, this is your turn. So
yeah, no, I was thinking about it. I really do think about what Matt Moore said about, like, again, I think I mentioned this in a previous episodes of Resistance Reactions. And he said this in our big review show at the end of December, which was, like, there's 3 characters that'll get you out of trouble. There's a lot of people in Star Wars that'll get you in trouble. There's 3 that'll get you out. And one of them is R2-D2. And I just have been scanning my brain, like, thinking back to all the movies, me being a child and watching, Star Wars when I was 8 years old for the first time in 1977. And it's R2, helping them in the trash compactor. How many times has he been, in ships and flying, and oh my gosh, all the different ways that he has helped to save our heroes and be a hero at the same time. So I think overall, I'm going to go with R2-D2. I love that droid.
Oh, that's a good answer. That is a good answer. For me, there's no way I can deny it. Chopper's my droid, man. There's just something about that moody, beat up astromech that just, I don't know. Ever since I first saw him, he has been, I have loved Chopper. I don't see that ever changing. As much as I liked K2SO and I liked R2 and I liked 3PO, Bucket and CB-23, all those great droids.
Yes.
I always come back to Chopper. He's temperamental. He's moody. He fix stuff and get you out of the bind. He can screw stuff up and get you in trouble. But he's also probably the one droid who will have your back the quickest in any situation. He's there for you in thick or thin. I keep going back to one of the last episodes of Rebels, where right after Kanan was killed, after he sacrificed himself to save Ezra and Hera, and he sits there. Hera gets off, walks to the edge of a cliff, and just standing there looking at the sunset, and Chopper just rolls up and his little droid hand pops out of his head and he just gently takes her hand. It's like, I'm here. Or the episode of Rebels where he rolls up, they're on Ryloth and they're at Hera's house and there's that crashed Y-Wing right there and he's just sitting there staring at it, and you find out that's the Y-Wing that he was the co-pilot of that crashed during the Clone Wars, and that's how Hera got him. And just the emotional impact that this particular droid has in the series. I've seen R2 get shot, and I've seen R2 taken apart. I've seen 3PO blown to bits. We see K2SO shot down at the end of Rogue One. But there's just something about the emotional weight and baggage that Chopper carries, and the way it's portrayed in the show that just connected with me, and I absolutely love that droid.
That I know that scene where he reaches up, that destroyed people. I mean, in the best way possible. When he